The attempted removal of Tucker Carlson has taken place, or at least it tried, from the New York Times here. There have been many times to remove Tucker Carlson, not from the Serbians this time round. Sorry, Serbs, but I love the memes. And I thought we'd start with a shill, of course, this one being Tucker Carlson's Anglo-Saxon political traditions. You may remember he got in deep trouble for painting his face like that, live on air, and screaming, "Come on, England, score some goals." And,
Come on, England!
Yeah, so they were talking about Anglo-Saxon political traditions, and this is verboten in American speak for some reason, because I don't know, they hate us, Anglo-Saxons, for some reason. So go and check that out. And then we'll get into the Tucker Carlson experience.
Ooh, strap in, lads. It's a roller coaster ride.
Get the next link. We have the New York Times, who decided to create the Tucker Carlson experience for you and me to all enjoy. So we can...
How generous of
They've
them.
watched every episode of Tucker Carlson. Every episode. Apparently that's what they did. And they've condensed it so we can all enjoy.
This is like the ultimate Tucker supercut. I really appreciate it, to be honest.
Of course, this is a smear piece. So they're trying to cut it in a way in which they want to make him look bad.
Yeah,
However,
note also that the whole thing where it's like the New York Times saying night after night, the host of the most watched show in primetime cable news uses a simple narrative to instill fear in his viewers. They want to control and then destroy you. See, there's no evil conspiracies going on. Anyway, let us tell you about our 1619 project we've got going on.
or like, don't worry about fear. She's trying to make you feel fear. Also, don't go outside. There's a deadly virus.
Yep.
It's constant. There's a lot of things to be said there. But the Tucker Carlson experience is the fact that they were trying to figure out what Tucker Carlson is up to. And so they got the big scoop. How did they get the big scoop? They watched his show. That was the research they did. I mean, Douglas Murray makes this point, but it's a very good one. It's just like, wow, that's peak journalism right there. I put on the TV and watched it. So that's the big scoop. Apparently they had 9 journalists doing this.
What, round the clock? Did they
Yeah.
lock them in rooms or something? Like little slots where they put the plates through with the slop.
But let's go through it. So if we can go to the next one, we can...
They don't care what you think.
They want to control your mind. They want you to do what you're told.
They want you to kiss the ring. They're not sentimental. They want power. They want power. They hate you. They want to hurt you. They call you a racist.
They call you racist. They want to control what you do.
And of course, they want to control your children too.
And they want you to know it.
They couldn't be clearer about that.
As if this is meant to make him look bad. So this is what these little compilations are going to be, but they're all gold.
They're all true as well.
Yeah, like, it's all very obvious. Like, it's bleedingly obvious who he's referring to, which is...
Also, just because they've chosen out-of-context clips where they don't give him a chance to explain who they are, doesn't mean that he doesn't explain or know who he's referring to.
Yeah, it's the ruling class, who are made up of power-hungry Democrats and Republicans as well, and there are active examples of these people for everything they allow to happen or actively promote. I mean, we could go on the list, but if you've been on this channel for more than 5 minutes, you'll know lots of these. And any dissent or resistance against such things is just immediately treated as some kind of hostile, treasonous action against the state itself.
You'd think that the leftists would actually be very open to the kind of rhetoric that Tucker is using, oftentimes because more than anything, he seems very class conscious.
He certainly is.
Yeah.
That's why he's upset about the constant focus on race, because it's like every moment you're thinking about race, you're not thinking about class.
Which is true.
Well, there are a lot of billionaire Dems, aren't they? But we'll keep enjoying the Tucker Carlson experience. Let's go to the next one here.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight.
And, so this is inside the apocalyptic worldview of Tucker Carlson Tonight.
But they chose like the most friendly opening possible.
I know. Keep your arms and legs in the right, folks.
Like, Tucker just seems like a nice guy.
This wholesome chap, he's the evil one. Let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. So this is them saying that they watched all 1,150 episodes
Oh
of
my
Tucker
God.
Carlson Tonight that he hosts 5 nights a week. Oh, God, how dare he? And which he says his thoughts, and that's terrible. Let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. They want to control you when you enter Mr. Carlson's world each night. I love how this is the preamble. Like I'm playing
It's got like a little fun house there where enter my world.
It's like we're in an escape room together. And you ever been to one? And you get
yeah, I've been to a few.
You get a little explanation. It's like, right, so hello, folks. We're in the escape room.
We're in the world of Tucker Carlson.
You're among his 3 million plus viewers and part of Fox News audience that is 92% white and overwhelmingly older, according to Nielsen data. And they mention that, not because they actually care, but because they hate white people. And we know that.
Well, it's a bit of a dog whistle to let you know that you should hate him based off the demographics of his audience.
Leftist dogs here, majority white, therefore bad. So they are the ruling class, and they threaten everything you believe in. demonstrably so. We have the names. We can literally tot it up in a big old list if you want. Put it in a flight log as well if that's more convenient for you. Let's go to the next one so we can see what they then go on to say. They say they include Democrat and some Republican officials, members of the media, big tech executives, academics, sports and Hollywood stars, and others. Many of these people have been attacked in dozens or even hundreds of episodes. Why is that? No more. No, it doesn't evaluate. Why are they being attacked? It's like, well, because they're instituting ideas and procedures in the United States that are, well, criminal, should be criminal, evil, or just insane. And he will give us plenty of examples.
I mean, the academics are actively brainwashing your children into believing all of this rubbish that the ruling class want you to believe anyway.
I love as well that they're like, oh, this mysterious they, who could they, stupid commentator says they all the time. And then they've given you the face of every individual he could possibly name.
There's Fauci, there's Biden, there's Obama, Buttigieg, Nancy Pelosi, Pocahontas.
You got that guy, the war hawk, Liz Cheney there, Mitt Romney, the snake himself.
Michelle Obama.
Bill Gates, Soros. I mean, this is the thing that I find so amazing where they're just saying they because they're trying to be mystic about it or they have no idea.
Anyway, here's who they are referring to.
Here's the literal list. Here's the literal faces of every individual. I mean, you've got the fish lady herself on the left there as well.
Oh, God, no.
Whose name escapes me. Oh, God.
Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot, that's her name.
Let's continue.
So Tony Fauci is back, unchastened, with still more commands. He cares about the environment to the extent it gives him more power. Things are getting more dangerous in this country. Luckily, Kamala Harris has a plan. She plans to disarm you. Liz Cheney can harness the awesome power of the national security state to seize your personal text messages. Sandy Cortez and her friends want to abolish your police, not their police. So this is a lady with huge estates all over the country who brags that she's a $30,000 freezer, telling you just have to suck it up and be poor for the planet she doesn't care about at all. So if you're asking yourself, does a 90-year-old left-wing Hungarian financier have enough control over the way my country operates? The answer is decidedly yes. The tech oligarchs join forces to censor their political opponents. You may be one of them. You weren't being paranoid to worry about this. You were absolutely right.
I can't get over how they present this, look at the madman, and he just gives us example after example of very good points.
Right, This has to be a psyop.
I know, right?
This is the New York Times being like, evil Tucker Carlson. Look at how wrong he is, guys.
Did you know that he thinks that the tech billionaires have too much power? Why is it that a 90-year-old Hungarian just has immense influence over all global politics? Yeah, that's a terrible point.
Why is it that Nancy Pelosi is so rich and yet encourages everyone to be poor?
Yeah. Why does AOC want to abolish the police except where she lives? Strange. It's like, okay, this again, like everything here makes him look like the golden boy who's doing great work.
I hope even if it wasn't the intention that this has accidentally created a whole host of new Tucker fans.
This is why I said it's the Tucker Carlson experience.
Yeah.
Keep yourself in the right.
This is his highlights right here.
Let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. See what else they have to say. Mr. Carlson frames nearly every topic on his show as the ruling class plot, from gun control to marijuana legalization to COVID restrictions. Well, yeah, I mean, we can name the people, and then they have their consistent ideology on these matters. Well, then yes, we can put those together.
I mean, gun control is literally a way for the ruling classes to be able to stop anybody below them from being able to defend themselves.
And resist them ever again. We'll keep going. Let's go to the...
Why are people who have taxpayer-funded bodyguards demanding that the rest of us disarm immediately? People in charge are suddenly for weed. Is it because they're super cool? Or is there some other reason they might want a passive population? They don't care about the actual environment. They care about controlling the rest of us. In a single day last month, we watched, for example, our entire professional class dutifully change their Twitter avatars from mask up to the now mandatory Ukrainian flag. Our ruling class is obsessed with denying biology because when you're God, there is no objective reality. The point of the exercise is to humiliate the rest of us by forcing us to obey transparently absurd orders. The point is to disarm you, to strip you of your autonomy, your power, your right of self-defense.
God, he's so based.
I know, I can see in the chat. I'm failing to see the problem.
Yeah, everything he's saying is true. We're honestly lucky that Tucker Carlson has such a large audience when he's actually talking about important and honest issues.
There's also the strange aspect here that, again, I mean, this is becoming more and more true, as Carl mentioned about the Dark Enlightenment folks, where they see them as mad, like the Clown World-esque progressives see everyone else who wants to live a normal life as insane because they're just so far removed.
What,
these
you
people,
want a wife and children, you insane person?
Yeah, they looked at these clips of Tucker saying, well, yeah, they want to get rid of your guns as they have in almost every other place on Earth so they control you. I mean, we have a similar situation in Britain, which is once the guns went, British traditions, political traditions, those Anglo-Saxon political traditions, have just destroyed themselves. Like, they're just gone.
I did an article on the lack of any amount of self-defense that's allowed within the UK, just because of how tight not only our gun laws are, but just the laws that are imposed on people who want to defend themselves from their property being intruded upon or any just violence against them.
Anyone pointing that out, they're the mad ones. Like, the person putting this together is so removed from you and me that they think this is mad. I mean, that's the most revealing aspect.
And Cthulhu swims left.
Let's keep going. Let's keep enjoying the experience. So, sorry if you can keep on. There we are. We have. They keep whining about the fact that he points out that, well, if you're an average American, who's your biggest threat in your life? Is it Putin or is it the people who run the country? This is smeared as him being pro-Russia. It's like, this doesn't make any sense, you idiot.
He never supported Russia when he was saying
Two
that.
things can be true at once. Putin can be bad, and also the ruling elites can be bad. And one of them is more pressing to the average American, funnily enough. Let's keep going.
What is this really about? Why do I hate Putin so much? Has Putin ever called me a racist? Has he threatened to get me fired for disagreeing with him? Has he shipped every middle-class job in my town to Russia? Did he manufacture a worldwide pandemic that wrecked my business and kept me indoors for 2 years? Is he teaching my children to embrace racial discrimination? Is he making fentanyl? Is he trying to snuff out Christianity? Does he eat dogs? These are fair questions, and the answer to all of them is no. Vladimir Putin didn't do any of that.
I don't know what his diet
So
is.
why does permanent Washington hate him so much?
But there we are. It's just the point of, like, why the obsession here? Not because Putin's good or anything he's done is good, but if you're an average American, who's the biggest threat to your life? And that's the point being made there. Again, this isn't really a successful smear of him being pro-Russia.
Once again, this isn't just providing answers to his questions that are reasonable on their side. It's not providing answers as to why you should hate him. It's just pointing at him and going, look, he believes the wrong things.
Yeah.
He's not a member of the cathedral.
Look how mad he is. He's not. Like, the clips make him look good. Let's keep going. If we keep going along this line. So let's just flick through a bunch of these, or just so we can get to...
They care more about identity politics than they care about your life. They care more about preventing a border wall than they do about raising the wages of American workers. They care more about putting Roger Stone in prison than about punishing looters and arsonists. They care far more about foreigners than about their own people. They seem to care more about Venezuela than they care about this country. They care about Afghans far more than they care about you. They don't care about you, and they're saying that as clearly as they possibly can. They don't care about your kids, and they really don't care about your grandkids.
Oh, yeah, 100% true. And also, I love the international aspect he raises there, which is and this is where the Dems could really just stop being stupid and actually look at the things they complain about and see where it is. Which is, you'll endlessly get these complaints, and everyone agrees on it, which is that whenever there's a foreign war, there are some people who make ridiculous amounts of money, like unbelievable amounts of money. And clearly, they're the biggest winners out of any of these situations. And when the ruling class...
I wonder if Nancy has any stocks with those companies as well.
Yeah, and when the ruling class utterly get obsessed with a place that's destabilizing and just licking their lips, hoping it turns into a war, well, there's a reason why. And of course they care far more about that than any of their own people, because, well, they're interested in making whole loads of cash. And, well, we have it in Nancy Pelosi as a single individual, but there's just endless lists of them as well. Again, you can name them. Like, Johnny Harris even did a video naming some of them, and he's leans left. But let's move along to the links now, because that's the Tucker Carlson experience, and there's lots more if you want to enjoy yourself. The best one in there that I found was when they were saying, did you know he complains that white people are being discriminated against? And then plays a clip of him pointing it out. Real dunce stuff that they think that's their own. So we have the New York Times having an article here, sorry, an image here saying, in more than 800 episodes, Carlson refers to the ruling class. Yes, he did call you out. Take it personally, I guess.
You're just pointing this out isn't refuting it.
No, let's continue. If we go to the next one, we also have them complaining that apparently people who disagree with Carlson have not been on as often as they used to. And whose fault is that?
Carlson is... Tucker's been refusing to have guests on his show.
Yeah, he's not a man to turn down a debate. He loves it.
Absolutely not.
I think it has more to do with the fact that the leftists won't engage in debate. I mean, demonstrably so. When you try and book something, everyone who's ever tried to organize anything political with debates will know. The right-wingers will just go, yep, we'll be there.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. It's the leftists who are like, I need to know the conditions and terms and who I'm debating against. And then they'll just pull out no reason anyway. Let's keep going. So we go to the Ministry of Truth. As you can see, the Babylon Bee saying, announced their targets being Tucker Carlson for the 2 minutes of hate. Of course, being a fake news article, but then also, obviously, the truth. Because if we go to the next one, we can, of course, see back when they were saying, well, this guy is spreading fear. Keep it in mind. This guy is the evil man. And if we go to the next one, of course, we have the New York Times themselves. Headline, it's time to scare people about COVID.
Oh, but he's spreading fear, guys. Watch out.
So this whole thing is obviously a transparent political attack, if that wasn't obvious at all already. But if we go to the next one, some people making some points about that. So we have Greg here saying, the New York Times traced Tucker Carlson's ancestors all the way back to 1850 and assigned 9 reporters to watch every episode of his show in order to smear him as a racist, but couldn't even be bothered to ask Hunter Biden if he ever forgot his laptop at a repair shop.
And the first one, is there a point here? Actually.
I mean, some people you can't help. There's just some people you cannot help. But that is an unbelievably astute observation here, which is that when they really want to target someone, Tucker being one of the most effective people in the West, and therefore has the highest price on his head for these people, they'll spare no resources. Absolutely anything. But asking one question of their own side cannot be done. If we go to the next one, we also have the reporters went on to other leftist media and said he's the most dangerous man alive. He's more dangerous than anyone realizes. What's he going to do?
MSNBC again probably being like, we get to control the narrative. No, not anybody else.
Yeah, dangerous to who? The ruling class. You being part of it here. I mean, you and all your friends are part of this, if nothing else. We move forward, we also have the fact that Trevor Noah decided to go on this at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, decided to try and smear Tucker Carlson in here. He said that Tucker asked questions that you can find out by Googling them. I'm like, yes, I know, you guys are awful, it's obvious. So that's how frank you are.
Thank you for not playing the Trevor Noah clip, by the way.
We could spare ourselves that. But if we get to the next one, though, we will play one clip and enjoy it, which is Douglas Murray, who was there at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and was getting grilled for like, so why are you there? Because it's a bit weird. He was like, well, you know, you go for the same reason you go to the zoo, just to have a look and learn. And he did learn some things about the kind of swamp creatures who write such smear pieces and try to remove Carlson. And I thought we'd enjoy it because, again, some very good observations. Let's play the clip.
Journalists, in my experience in Australia and Britain, certainly the ones I know, don't take themselves as seriously as journalists in America. Journalists in America think that they are somewhere above the fire service, above the police, something like that, as the guardians of democracy. And so they have these backpacking occasions. And really, as somebody explained it to me, they also invite celebrities, and the celebrities go so that the celebrities can feel smart, and the journalists invite the celebrities so that the journalists can feel famous. Here's the problem with these people, and actually it came out again at the Correspondents' Dinner in Washington on Saturday night. They genuinely don't have any curiosity as to why, for instance, Tucker Carlson's show, and indeed Hannity, who they kept mocking at the Correspondents Association dinner, keep on performing better than the radical left-wing shows like MSNBC or the slightly further inside to the left viewers of CNN. They can't work it out. They can't work out why these Fox shows have prime time audiences which they dominate night after night. And, you know, you and I might think that if somebody just massively outperformed you all the time, you'd think, well, I wonder what they're doing. That's maybe something I can learn from. Maybe their show doesn't feel like homework. Or maybe the host is slightly more relatable than the madly unrelatable figures on MSNBC and CNN. And they don't do that. Instead, they just attack and attack and attack.
Nice, fantastic point.
It's just bob on.
Yeah, the strange thing there being they never actually take a look and think, well, why are we consistently losing to Tucker?
Why do people hate us so much?
Yeah, why do we look like villains out of a Batman movie?
It's really the Simpsons meme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe am I wrong? No, it is the people who are wrong.
Absolutely, but the zero lack of self-awareness and even sense of self-improvement, I really do think that is true. They genuinely do not look at anyone else, think, how can I self-improve? It's just, how can I destroy? How can I make sure that my mediocrity is at least higher than what they've got, rather than actually improving yourself to not be mediocre there with those journos? Otherwise, why else did they do this? Why else did they spend their lives watching every episode of Tucker Carlson and come away with it with, let's smear him, not how can we make our show better? I mean, like, you've got enough material to show you how to make the show better and the knowledge, surely, at that point, but apparently not. I guess
the fact that they can come out of all those episodes as well, not being smarter.
Yeah, that's well. But if we'll skip a couple of links here, if we can, Michael, so we can go to that one, because that's this is also a very funny point. So if we click on the first one there, they also put another piece out trying to smear him and saying that he talks a lot about white South African farmers being attacked, which presumably is fake news according to them, in their minds, because they say that it's a story from the neo-Nazi Daily Stormer, as opposed to the reality on the ground, which is why, if you go to the next image there, New York Times reports on white South African farmers being beaten and arrested. They confused their own reporting for white nationalist reporting because it happened to reflect just a reality that is South Africa. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing. And then if we go to the last one here, we can see Tucker's response, which is just golden again. Just holding up the front page and just laughing because this is ridiculous. I mean, to think that he's the clown world in the world compared to, well, the progressive, literal clown world, where you're putting on your makeup and talking about cutting off children's. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's that. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this premium video, The Politics of Taxi Driver, that Thomas and Josh did together. If you want to follow Thomas, you can also follow him on Getter at Thomas Dowling on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.